Furious airline passengers this morning threatened mutiny on a plane at Heathrow Airport after being made to wait for up to 2 hours on the tarmac as what is expected to be one of busiest Easter bank holiday weekends of travel in nearly a decade got off to a chaotic start. Arrivals at the West London airport said they were forced to wait for more than 120 minutes on a landed plan due to issues getting an air bridge. It comes as passengers at other airports, including Gatwick, the UK's second busiest airport, as well as Manchester and Birmingham, today face queuing chaos. At a glance, how are things shaping up for travel on Good Friday and what are the pinch points Britons face this weekend? Roads traffic is already building up on the approach to the port of Dover on Good Friday. Long queues could be seen at the Kent port, with long lines of lorries and passenger vehicles seen scrambling to catch a ferry. As many as 21.5 million leisure trips are expected to be made by car between Good Friday and Easter Monday. Usual pinch points, including A303 Stonehenge, the M6 North between Liverpool and the Lake District, and the M25 clockwise around Heathrow Airport. Trains rail passengers are being warned of Easter delays as Network Rail carries out 530 engineering projects costing a total of £83 million. Trains running on the West Coast Main Line, which links London to Scotland, will start and finish at Milton Keynes across the weekend. London Euston, which normally links London via the West Midlands and North West England to Scotland, will be completely closed from Good Friday to Easter Monday. Rail links to Heathrow are also disrupted, with the Piccadilly Line shut, while the Gatwick and Stansted Express lines are also shut. There will also be major disruption on Transpennine services due to industrial action. Airports passengers have already faced disruption overnight on Thursday and on Good Friday morning. BA passengers arriving at Heathrow last night said they were made to wait for up to 2 hours to get off a flight. BA say the wait was no more than an hour, but issued an apology to customers. Airline passengers have also complained of our long queues for security at Gatwick, Manchester and Birmingham airports. Meanwhile, bosses at Stansted last night urged passengers to consider dropping of their bags a day early. Industry chiefs have previously warned of more queues and delays at UK airports this week due to ongoing staffing issues. The union representing border force officials, the Immigration Services Union, is also warning that catastrophic understaffing and an influx of passengers returning to the UK after the Easter school holidays could lead to long queues at border control. The Port of Dover. There are long queues already building on the approach to the Port of Dover today. Channel crossings have been delayed in recent weeks since P&O Ferries stopped its movements from Dover to Calais in the aftermath of its decision to sack 800 of its crew without notice. And now the firm has confirmed it will not undertake passenger sailings between Dover and Calais this Easter weekend, regarded by industry experts as the most intense for channel crossings. The emergency Operation Brock Zero, which closes off traffic to non-freight vehicles on the M20 in order to stop lorries wanting to cross the channel, has been activated and remains in place. P&O had planned to restart its crossings in time for Good Friday. But the firm suffered a setback yesterday when it was announced the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency had detained a second vessel over safety fears. In departures at Manchester, which has for days seen long queues as people jet out on their Easter holidays, passengers face hour-long waits to get through security. At Birmingham Airport, the wait is said to be around 90 minutes. Airports and airlines, which are currently suffering from a shortage of staff and a rush in demand of international travel with all UK COVID restrictions lifted, have previously warned customers to arrive at least 3 hours before their flight to avoid delays. And Stansted Airport today urged passengers to consider dropping off their luggage a day early to avoid getting stuck in queues for their flight. Drivers meanwhile have also been warned they face a weekend of motoring misery, with clogged up motorways and busy A roads, as well as a hefty fuel bill on what could be one of the busiest bank holiday travel days on record. As many as 21.5 million leisure journeys are set to take place across the UK's road network this weekend, according to the RAC, with the M25 clockwise around Surrey, the A303 near Stonehenge, and the M6 northbound from Liverpool to the Lake District among the congestion hotspots. Traffic is also expected at the Port of Dover today after P&O announced it was suspending all of its Dover-Calais services this weekend. The under-fire ferry firm suspended sailings last month after sacking 800 of its crew without notice. The firm had hoped to restart crossings ahead of the Easter weekend, but yesterday announced they would not be running services this weekend, after the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency detained 2 of its ships over safety concerns. Operation Brock Zero, the emergency counterflow measures on the M20 remains in place today, as traffic officials hope to manage congestion up to the Port of Dover. But photographs show long queues of passenger and freight traffic on approach to the port today. Meanwhile, rail passengers also face across England today, with 530 separate engineering works taking place across the weekend. Network Rail is undertaking the massive £83 million project this weekend to avoid disruption for weekday commuters. Trains running on the West Coast Main Line, which links London to Scotland, will start and finish at Milton Keynes across the weekend. London Euston, which normally links London via the West Midlands and North West England to Scotland, will be completely closed from Good Friday to Easter Monday. Rail links to Heathrow are also disrupted, with the Piccadilly Line shut, while the Gatwick and Stansted Express lines are also shut. It comes as airline passengers today declared, "Get us off the plane before you have mutiny." The outburst came from a BA traveller on Twitter late on Thursday night, who reported waiting more than an hour for an air bridge to unload passengers at Heathrow. Another said, "We landed almost 2 hours ago and are still on the plane awaiting one of your crew to connect an air bridge. You should be ashamed of your shambles of an operation tonight." In a video shared online from Heathrow's Terminal 5 baggage reclaim, an exasperated YouTuber with the username Fredstream said, "If you are travelling anytime soon, cancel it, I wouldn't do it." He added, "We're at Terminal 5. State-of-the-art airport, they don't know where the bags are, they don't know when the bags are coming." He said he and his girlfriend were asked to fill out forms for their baggage and told to go home, where their luggage would be sent to them. Another fuming passenger who had arrived from Milan said they were stuck on their plane for more than an hour waiting for a bus to ferry them to the terminal. "Apparently you only have one bus driver in the whole of Terminal 5, they fumed. BA Today admitted passengers had faced delays at a busy Heathrow this morning, but said the maximum wait to get off their planes had been an hour. "We apologise to customers for the inconvenience," a spokesperson said. A picture taken from Heathrow on Thursday night showed crowded scenes as scores of travellers looked to get away for their Easter break on the eve of the bank holiday weekend. It comes as passengers at other airports, including Gatwick, the UK's second busiest airport, as well as Manchester and Birmingham, today face queuing chaos. At Birmingham Airport, the wait is said to be around 90 minutes. Pictures show long queues for check-in and security at the Midlands Airport today. At Gatwick, in Sussex, passengers faced long queues. Airports have been warning passengers to arrive 3 hours early to avoid missing their flight. Congestion is also expected at the Port of Dover today after P&O announced it was suspending all of its Dover-Calais services this weekend. Operation Brock Zero, the emergency counterflow measures on the M20 remains in place today, as traffic officials hope to manage congestion up to the Port of Dover. But photographs show long queues of passenger and freight traffic on approach to the port today. Under-fire ferry firm P&O suspended sailings last month after sacking 800 of its crew without notice. The firm had hoped to restart crossings ahead of the Easter weekend, but yesterday announced they would not be running services this weekend, after the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency detained 2 of its ships over safety concerns. Holiday traffic queues to check in for ferries at the Port of Dover, Kent, as P&O services remained suspended during the Easter getaway. Passengers queue to check in for the Eurostar International Rail service at London St Pancras train station this afternoon. This year's Easter weekend is expected to be a bumper edition as it is the first without any UK COVID travel restrictions since the start of the pandemic. One traveller accused Heathrow staff of eating his Fortnum Easter chocolate on Thursday evening. Good news from Heathrow Airport British_Airways. Go home, travel back to Heathrow Airport tomorrow and collect your bags then. Boris Johnson's Britain, eh? DKL Hawayaza, Fred April 14, 2022. While some managed to make their flights, one couple had their return trip with British Airways cancelled mid-air. "They have just cancelled our flight home as we're mid-air going out," one of the couple said. "Shambles.